Welcome back to the deep dive, where we sift through the sources you send us and pull out just the essential insights so you can get informed fast without, the usual headache. So today's mission, it really gets to the heart of a conflict that I think anyone who's a student or has one feels pretty deeply.
Hmm.
It's that constant tug of war, right, between the things that are fun right now, like TikTok or soccer or just friends, and then this huge pressure to build a real future.
It's a huge tension, and that's really central to what we're looking at today. All the sources are basically titled variations of how to have fun and build your future.
Right.
And this isn't just, some fuzzy philosophy. Our deep dive is about finding the actual blueprint these documents lay out. We're looking for the mechanics of how you gain knowledge quickly, but also in a way that you actually enjoy.
Okay, so let's dig into that core tension. What I liked is that the sources they get it. They acknowledge right away that it's not easy being a learner today. You want fun, you want freedom, but you also want success.
And traditionally, those three things are seen as completely separate buckets. Or even worse, they're seen as competitive. More fun means less future.
Exactly. And most of the advice out there says you just have to sacrifice the fun.
Right. But these sources, they push back on that. They say it's not about time management, it's more about, well, integration management. Our goal here is to pull out those strategies that let you combine them so the fun part actually helps build the future part.
So let's start where they do, with the foundational lesson. It sounds simple, but it's a really big mental shift. The key is to mix passion with learning.
It sounds so obvious when you say it out loud.
It does, but it's powerful.
It really is, because it solves the biggest problem, which is motivation. The old way is you want to be an engineer, well, you have to take an extra calculus class on a Saturday. And that just feels like a chore.
Punishment, yeah.
It is. But what if you're already passionate about, say, rebuilding an old engine, and you start using calculus to figure out displacement? Suddenly the math has a purpose. The motivation comes from inside.
I love the line they use. Even hobbies can become skills. That's a whole mindset flip right there. It tells you that all that time you spend on things you enjoy isn't wasted. It's just unstructured training.
Precisely.
Yeah.
It's waiting for a frame.
And the sources break down why this works psychologically. First, like we said, is the interest. Your brain just pays more attention to things you already care about.
Of course.
But the second part is retention. Learning that's tied to an emotion like the thrill of solving a problem in a game. Your brain just codes that information so much more deeply. You're not just memorizing, you're acquiring knowledge because you need it right now.
Okay, so your hobby is like this untapped well of high motivation training. I like that. But let's make concrete. Let's move from the idea to the actual mechanism. This is where the sources get really good with a case study that makes it all click.
Yeah, the story they use of Sandy, a 14-year-old, is a perfect example of this. It just showed how it works in the real world with modern tools. So, Thandi, she's 14. She has these two drives that seem like they're in opposition. On one hand, she loves dancing. She makes these short TikTok videos. She's good at it. That's the fun part.
Right, the passion, the immediate feedback.
And on the other hand, she has this
Yeah.
this future-building impulse. She actually wants to help her younger siblings with their math homework.
And normally you'd silo those, right? Okay, got to stop dancing now. Time to go be serious and tutor.
But she didn't. Her solution was, well, it was kind of genius. She realized her skill wasn't just dancing. Her real skill was making engaging short videos that hold people's attention. So she just swapped out the content. She started making these tiny 10-second tutorial videos breaking down math concepts for little kids.
She kept the medium, the video editing, the pacing, all the things she was already an expert in, and just applied it to her other goal, which was teaching. She mixed them.
And that story is where the sources pull out this really specific three-part formula. They call it the triple win formula. And it's not just about having fun and learning a skill. There's a third piece that's essential.
Yes, this is the critical link. The formula is fun plus skill plus recognition equals a triple win.
Okay.
So fun gets you started and keeps you going. Skill is what you actually gain. But recognition, that's the part that turns it from a private project into a public asset. It's the proof that says, hey, you're not just messing around. You're actually good at this, and other people see it.
Wait, okay, I want to push back on that for a second. Couldn't she just be happy that her siblings were doing better in math? Why does she need the external recognition, the likes, the views? Doesn't that feel a little shallow?
That's a really fair question, and the sources go right at it. If your only goal is personal satisfaction, sure, that's enough. But the goal here is future building. And in that context, recognition isn't about ego, it's about data. It's documented proof of your competence.
Okay, unpack that.
Think about it. Thandi helping her siblings is great. But Thandi creating a video that gets 10,000 views and positive comments, that proves she can communicate complex ideas, edit video, understand an audience. That's a portfolio.
Ah.
It becomes a talking point for a college essay or an internship application. It shows initiative in a way a grade on a report card just can't. That recognition is the asset.
That makes so much sense. It's moving from just feeling good about something to having external proof of it. That actually connects to another analogy they used that I thought was surprising about video games. They said, playing a complex game can become understanding systems architecture. How does that work?
Absolutely. So when you're playing a really deep strategy game or something like Minecraft, you're not just, clicking buttons. You are managing resources, you're understanding feedback loops, you're optimizing supply chains in a constrained world.
So if I'm playing Fortnite, I'm not just shooting. I'm doing rapid structural analysis under stress. I'm making quick resource allocation decisions.
Exactly. And those are the core principles of systems thinking or logistics. So when you apply that teaching element, say you write a guide or make a video explaining why a certain strategy works, you have to formalize what you know intuitively.
You have to explain it.
You have to explain it. And that's the moment the hobby becomes a real transferable skill. The game isn't a distraction anymore. It's a self-directed course in operational design.
Wow, that completely reframes it. Okay, so we have the philosophy integration and we have the framework, the triple win. Let's get really practical. What are the immediate actionable steps a learner can take, like today?
The sources are super clear on this. They lay out 3 very simple steps to get started.
Okay, step 1. It's almost deceptively simple. Pick one hobby.
Just one.
Right. And they say don't go looking for some new impressive passion. Look at what you're already doing. The guitar you're messing with, the photos you're taking, that recipe you keep trying to perfect. Start there.
The simplicity is the whole point.
Yeah.
It removes the friction. You don't have to build motivation from scratch. You already have it. So then step 2, this is the big one. This is the engine of the whole thing. Add a teaching or sharing element.
Okay, but I want to get specific here. If I just film myself baking a cake and I post it, am I really teaching? Or am I just creating more content, chasing that recognition we talked about?
That's a crucial distinction. The sources are clear that just documenting isn't enough. The act of teaching forces you to synthesize the information.
What do you mean by synthesize?
Well, to teach someone how to bake that cake, you can't just show them. You have to explain why you use self-rising flour, not plain. You have to articulate the difference between kneading and folding. You have to anticipate where they might go wrong.
Ah, so you have to actually break it down.
Exactly. And you can't break something down that you don't truly understand. That's the process that turns your intuitive knowledge into a solid, transferable skill. It moves you from knowing how to knowing why.
Okay, so that forced organization is the skill building part. Which brings us to step 3. Track progress and share safely online.
Right. And tracking isn't just, I feel like I'm getting better. The sources say to make it quantitative. How many hours did you practice? What specific problem did you solve? Get the data. That data feeds your motivation, and it also becomes part of your portfolio.
And let's talk about that share safely part. That feels really important, especially for younger learners who are online all the time. What does safe sharing actually mean here?
It means being smart about your audience. It means not just throwing your work onto a huge global platform right away.
So not just straight to TikTok or YouTube.
Maybe not at first. The sources suggest starting on more niche platforms. If you're coding, share it on GitHub. If it's art, maybe a curated portfolio site. You get that expert feedback, that necessary recognition, but without the, toxic chaos of a giant social media comment section.
So you're getting the input you need, but in a more controlled, constructive way.
Exactly. It completes that whole cycle we talked about. It's responsible recognition seeking.
So the whole picture is, you don't stop doing what you love. You just integrate it. You use your passion, you formalize it by teaching it to someone else, and then you get it validated using that fun plus skill plus recognition model.
That's it. And to make it even more real, the sources end with a very specific call to action. It's not just an idea, it's a challenge. It says, show us your first hobby video mashup. Ray Digital will share the best.
Ray Digital. That's so specific. Why name a name? What does that represent?
It's so significant. Ray Digital isn't just a random name. It represents a curator, an industry gatekeeper. It's someone who matters in that specific field.
Ah, so it's not about getting a million views from random people.
No, it's about getting the right views.
Mm-hmm.
The sources are telling you to be strategic. Don't just post, submit. Seek validation from the experts, from the people whose opinion actually carries weight in that field.
It raises the stakes. It forces you to make something good enough for a professional.
It's the ultimate proof that your hobby has successfully become a valuable skill. It's the final step in the transformation.
That is a powerful blueprint. From a simple hobby all the way to targeted, professional validation. So for you listening right now, the biggest takeaway is probably that teaching element. It's the key that unlocks the whole process, just like Thandi with her math videos. So we want to leave you with one final thought to get you started. What's one skill, just one piece of knowledge you already have from a game, from cooking, from fixing something that you could break down and teach to someone younger than you this week? Think about that one lesson. That's your first step in turning your private passion into a public, valuable skill. We'll see you next time for the next deep dive.